which their new team names happen to be Rebirth and Mantra, which is a little bit of a change up. But I'm joined here with Spark. We are
Hello.
casting the final ever game to give it. And Spark, what are we initially going to be seeing from this first map, which will be Busan?
Well, now Busan, yeah, just like in the match we saw before, we'll probably see a lot of dive because this particular Busan map favors it quite a lot with Widowmaker plays. We did see it as well last game between Vindication Academy and Lions Academy. Widow being played a lot and being a very big key element of the different team comps and being big win conditions because winning a Widow 1v1 and you basically have free reign over the enemy because they will then have to put even more resources into dealing with their opposing Widow. So yeah, I believe we'll see that, but I mean, look at the team comps, I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, one side is opting to run this Widow, but we may see them swap over to the D.Va if it's called for when we see a Goats versus Goats, which does tend to happen at this level of play, especially since we're in the EU, which I'm surprised yet we haven't seen a Pharah. But the side of the old Rebirth, I think it's called now. What is her name? Rebirth. Yeah, Rebirth. They are now pulling out the double sniper with the power up when they're on the dive. So I don't think it's going to work against this specific comp personally, but we'll just wait and see. As both Widows are just getting a couple peak shots now. One of them is powered up, so a body shot and a half body shot will do to kill the other Widow. But the one team has taken on to the point they're trying to get early percentages. The other team is now diving in with the Winston and the D.Va leading with the powered up Winston. This could be a big fight. Find a shot. She does not get anything. Only X does fall down from Armocker. Armocker loses the mech and then jumps off the map. So this fight could be getting sustained out for the side with more sustainability, which is Mantra.
Yeah, now here, Mantra, they're just taking very solid. After losing their Zenyatta to Armocker, just coming back from it, staying calm, staying collected, they let their sustained play for them, which is the GOAT's thing to do, really. And yeah, it worked. There is no big Widow 1v1 that I've seen happening yet. Unfortunately, Punisher on the side of Rebirth is getting close to Dragons now though, so we might see some ultimates being used in the next fight. The dive is still BZ, Baz getting the kill onto Child. That's a huge kill, and that will leave Mantra open for an attack here. There comes the Dragons I was talking about early. Drunk Dino will get a kill to Onyx as well. That's huge. That's already and Digital Panda as well as Mango will drop to Drunk Dino. Then Winston. We have huge plays. That cleave just getting so much damage done. But Child.
Yeah. I mean, Chowder, you getting the pick on Bazovs. He's gonna get res back up, nothing much. But can we just comment on the play Drunk Dino did there? He got in, zoned their whole team away. The Dragon then came in, cutting them all off, where he could just go in with a Tesla cannon and just melt them all down. As we saw him getting that amazing 3K, but it is now swapped as however Armocker has left the game.
We get a pause. Yes.
There it is. Yeah. So. Speaking about that, Rebirth on the blue team, they played that really well with the zoning up from the Hanzo, where the side of Mantra, the old hectic esports, are now a little bit panicked and scattered, so they have swapped over to the Hanzo, but they're running it with the Lucio and Zen, which isn't really the best healing in the world for that. It's maybe used best for a dive composition in certain positions, so that Armocker has rejoined the game. So we will be jumping back into it in 4 seconds exactly. So now looking for this fight, it's going to be huge whoever wins this double sniper battle. Drunk Dino didn't realise we started. He does fall down unfortunately. So now the side of Mantra are just walking on to the point. That's like, this is our point, we flipped it. WD Zombie God does then fall to Mango Pip on the Lucio. So now that is the instant fight one, and the rest of Rebirth are just jumping off the map.
Yeah, no, Mantra just, I don't know, pushing in after Drunk Dino somehow fell off the map. Hate to see it happen, but then their cleanup game again was, I mean, honestly, there was nothing special to do. Looking at Ults now though for the next fight, I mean, what you said about the healer combos with Zenyatta, Lucio, I totally agree. It's just you don't have a sustain, and if you go into those longer lasting fights, which you honestly probably isn't that bad because you're running against dive, so you won't have long lasting fights. So that means, you can get away with having little healing. But generally speaking, you don't want to have it. I am totally on board with that. Now Child was winning the Widow 1v1 again. Huge plays, giving his time about 20 seconds more, or 10%. And they have reached 90% now, so it is now Rebirth who have to push really, really quickly now. Child getting dope and killed, which gives So Rebirth a chance to attack, and they will, with the Shatter use on his side of Mantra not finding anything. The Transcendence now popped just to save himself from Mantra's Reinhardt there. The Dragon's being popped as well. No value really from any of it. Does he punish getting a kill onto Onyx though? So it is Rebirth being. Never mind, it's 2 kills coming from this side of Mantra. The third one coming as well. Child on that Widow, proving some worth as Digital Panda will just clean up Drunk Dino. And that is Mantra taking the first map.
Indeed, Mantra did pull out all the stops there, having that lower healing economy, so not enough sustain, but they managed to play it with Chowdhury proving to be an amazing Widow, taking down Bizbaz, his name is, every time. But we did see our Mocha leave again, maybe has lagged out, but we should hopefully be getting our Mocha, the D.Va player, back into the next game, which we are now on the more of a temple-based map of Busan, which mostly is favoured for the Goats composition, so we will be expecting this to come out from both Rebirth and Mantra, so we'll just see how it plays out and who can take the upper hand on this map, and then maybe they can get it back into a contestable game.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially with these very tight corners and this very, very small point in the middle of it. Yeah, it's very Goats favoured because Goats is such a brawly and high sustain composition. So yeah, I would expect to see some Goats. Right now we're just seeing the old compositions. We should be seeing some switches, especially on the side of Rebirth. That dive, unfortunately, into that Goats-ish com is unfortunately not that good, really. It's just a weaker comp.
Yeah, I mean, the side of Mantra now pulling out what's considered to be a counter dive composition with both their DPS play. Oh, never mind, they've completely swapped out to Zen Goats. It's the caster's curse. It always happens. You say one thing, then it swaps. However, Rebirth are sticking to their bread and butter. They are sticking to this dive composition. But do I think it's going to work against Mantra's Goats? No, not in the slightest. They should just get brawled down with the old standard of dive with a Hanzo instead. They are going to get a lot of damage off with a Hanzo, but do not feel it will be enough or sustain against the Goats composition. As our Mocha is going in, is going to get followed up by the Winston, having to get pocketed by the Mercy, is falling really low, does fall low. Sammy is then picked up in the back, jumped down and falls down. The Baby D.Va is probably just going to get staggered at this point, as our Mocha is not losing HP, she is just getting staggered. Got the remake though, probably will pop the remake, if not Quavo, or she should just be jumping off the map. She does fall down, in fact, however, ZP does get a big pick onto Chowdhury's mech. So we shall be seeing the swaps coming in from the side of Rebirth over to the more sustainable Goats composition, where they should be able to brawl out Zen Goats a little bit harder. But Zen Goats favoured to be against Mori Goats for this extra range, as the next team fight isn't really taking place yet. There's just a lot of sustaining, and the next one out, the Dragon is going to come in. This is probably going to come to the swap over to the Zarya from ZP, which has come out. So we are not really seeing anything too much early, but there's the stun. Nothing really coming off of this. Both teams just poking each other, knowing that they're there, respecting that fact. And now the dash does come out onto Drunk Dino. He's dropping low. He does then fall. D.Va Mech has gone. That's a big shot. Just managed to find 2. It's just going to kill them out. And that is the fight won yet again to the side of Rebirth. Oh, sorry, Mantra, my bad.
Yeah, new names, right? No, but going back 2 fights to the dive again, I just want to say that no matter how much, like, any amount of damage that you can throw against the Goats with your dive composition is just not gonna be enough. It doesn't matter how much focus fire you have, which will be really hard to pull off as well against Goats because it's just a big pile of people. It's just not going to be enough. The sustainability of Goats is just so huge. And there comes the Grav now as well. And a huge bomb. Well, unfortunately, no value. The bubbles and the Reinhardt shield will block it off. Now the Coalescence is being pulled out on the side of Rebirth here. Finding notably only keeping the punish up on that Zarya. Now it is Rebirth now finally pushing back, but there is Transcendence and Beat being pulled out at the same time, which is a bit of a waste, but you know what happens. D.Va Bomb being pushed in, I thought too far, but it does get Onyx, so it does find value. And now it is Rebirth finally on the attack, getting a pin onto Digital Panda, as Sammy Extra will die though to Chowdhury. I don't know. But it is Rebirth finally having a very solid attack. Our Mocha finally D-Mac and kill onto Chowdhury, and Basic Mountain finally getting killed by Baz. Those switches that Rebirth made, they were so vital, they were so necessary, and we just saw why.
Yeah, I mean, on the side of Mantra, they've now swapped over to Benji's bread and butter pick. It is this Pharah. We know he's a very competent Pharah. He does like to get as much damage off as possible. But they still have the sustain with the Briggy and the Zenyatta Mercy. So still a good amount of healing coming out from either team. As the point is getting contested by Mantra. The side of Rebirth has to make a recontest. The shot does come out. Does find one person, in fact, that is just mocking the D.Va, but the kills are coming out for the side of Rebirth. They now got free, nothing they can really do. Pharah is just there, getting tickled down with the Mercy, just in the sky. It's an unreachable target, that Pharah, and they're not really going to do much. They should just back off, not let her get as much ult charge as possible. So, seeing this next fight, not really many ults on the field whatsoever. I mean, the side of Mantra flopped a lot of their ults there and didn't get anything from it. I mean, they used the Graviton, they also used the V and the Shat, and they didn't win against 2 ults, which is really good play from the side of Rebirth. But coming to this next fight, we should see maybe Rebirth take it again because of their ults. As the Shadows come out, it does only get one Chowry in the back. The charge does come out. Does manage to find the Brig. Can the bubble wear off? The bubble does not wear off. They should be focusing the Brig down now. The Brig is getting focused down all the way in the left. The Pharah is up in the sky. She's going to have Barrage pretty soon. Going to be looking to pull this off, get a couple kills, and then take the point. So we are just seeing the fight just stable out really, really long. Here's the grab. 3 of the minute. Are we going to see anything from this? Benji does use the Barrage. Is getting Defense Matrix. But then does fall from Sammy Extra. The red is coming through. She backs off before she could do it. She got a little bit scared because of that, the pressure of the team. So we did just see Mantra lose another fight, which we're coming up to the magical number now. The 85 is past, so only one more fight left in this entire round.
Possibly not. Basic Mountain is still there with his Mercy, and his team is coming back now. They're going to be able to push back from the clear. This is the last fight now for this round, possibly won by Mantra. No one knows it. There are no ultimates for the side of Mantra. What a bomb finding 3-hour market, getting all 3 supports, and that leaves Mantra to lose this fight. When there is a beat drop now to assist in the cleanup of Mantra. As Sammy Extra does find the kill on the Chartery. There is someone on point. Benji on the Tracer, switching off the Pharah after just getting countered, but that bomb just carried Rebirth to victory there.
Yeah, juicy bomb by our Mocker, really digging down deep, finding that solo carry potential, getting that bomb and shooting it off and getting a free piece. Oh, it was absolutely amazing. It's beautiful to see that single-handed play. But now, going on to the next map, Mecha Base, we are probably going to see a Goats versus Goats again of this fight of the far, the other side of the point, all the way the attacker's right side and obviously the other side's left side. It's really the great side to fight. You get the picks and then you move to the point after this. But we are seeing Baz on the McCree, so not a full Goats comp from the side of Rebirth, where the other side they are running bread and butter. Same Goats is just same Goats. You can't really complain much. However, they are splitting off. The Rhino has gone low ground. He's maybe a mistake. He has run back to his team now. He's charging it, and then one team has got the range with the McCree. The Zen, it could be proved bad. He has nothing really can contest him as a charge does come in, does get sat down, is going to fall pretty low, is getting topped back up by his heals, though good heals from either side. Drunk Dino being a bit ballsy, doing as much as he can to not die. He is getting really low. McCree's getting 3 shots. There's a big fight shot from Drunk Dino finding Basic Mountain, and the fight is just going to brawl out now to the advantage of Rebirth as they're just hitting in. The D-Mech does come out, the pure fight is just thinking how Drunk Dino just fall to Oni, so this could be flipped around if not careful. But one tank is left alive with the McCree. Baz proving himself to be a really good McCree, charging his ult really quick and finding the pit kills like he did onto Oni there. D-Bomb is coming out with the Coalescence. He's not going to find anything, maybe just for a remake there, that D-Bomb. Oh wow, it's a big stagger. They do take it out straight away though. Ignore what I was saying there, as Rebirth took that point relatively easily.
No, I think what was a bit overlooked here is the Punisher's amount, like the amount of damage the Punisher put out there on its hour. He basically already has a grab after one fight. It did seem 3 times in kill feed there. So it was a bit overlooking. He might be able to win his team this next fight. As Mantra is pushing back in, running into a Shatter and a Graviton. Now there is a beat and a Transcendence to counter it. Now again, why use both defensive ultimates? One chip enough. Baz does find the kill onto Basic Mountain. Now there comes the D.Va Bomb now, finding no one, unfortunately. Child Hurry now already half again as well. Digital Panda finding the kill onto Drunk Dino though. There is a Deadeye, that's it. Deadeye being used, finding nothing as well as Onyx will kill Baz, who is out of position then. And it is Mantra now getting the kills. The kill feed is all ready again with the Graviton on the pawn. The only one left is Semi Extra, who will fall to Digital Panda's shield dash.
Yeah, I mean, what we didn't notice there was a huge eat from Chowdhury to completely shut down Bazbaz's high noon, which he had 3 locked in his sides, but she, the last second, denied him completely. And coming back from what we thought would have been a lost fight for Mantra there, but they now managed to do flip the point as the shield bash does come down, does get blocked, not really synergized enough, however. Drunk Down has a huge pick onto Uniex as another Shari is coming out, that gets 1, 2 down, in fact. The remake is going back out maybe a little bit too late as the fight is just getting taken out for the side of Rebirth. I mean, Rebirth looking really strong with Bazbaz on this McCree. Maybe not accepting yeah, great charge. Maybe accepting they are not the better Goats team as they just pull out extra DPS to really mow down this Goats composition, which was good overall team decision from Rebirth there as they've taken quite a lot of fights in a row now, which is really good play.
Yeah, no, that aggressive play by Drunk Dino is just really what you need in and against Gold's compositions, because you won't get anything done by just standing around and looking against him in a stare contest. You really need to go aggressive, and he does that. Obviously, for better or for worse, as you've right now charged in again and got no one with it, he is still alive. He does get his team to help him. Baz now finally getting some value out of his Deadeye, finding a D-Mac and Onyx. As the rest of his team will try to clean up now, Baz will drop in the process, but it does seem as though Rebirth is the dominant team here with Drunk Dino finding 2 kills with 1 fire strike. The Diva Bomb will come in as well, which was again a bit unnecessary as the fight was really won as the map is though, so can't blame him for it.
Yeah. I mean, there is the first map. Rebirth do manage to win that, but that's really good. They got beat and they got destroyed on the first map, in fact, but they managed to turn it around. Drunk Dino really being a star player there, just charging in and getting all of his team to follow up on it. They really played around his charging and then the play, however, the play of his charge, however, that was a great bomb by Armaka to perfectly calculate it to where it dropped, and then the Reinhardt didn't stand a chance no matter where he was on the map. His 3 supports were dying there no matter how it was played, but both teams proven to be really well and proving why they got to the final. It was really good to see, in fact.
No, it should make for a very entertaining finals match right here after seeing that so hype fight for the 3rd place before. I'm really looking forward to how this will go on in this fight between Rebirth and Mantra. Yeah, it does seem as both teams, they are fairly equal in power. Rebirth, they were a bit dominant, but we did see a huge comeback last time as well, so you know, anything is possible, and you know how it goes if we make any predictions at all.
Yeah, I mean, what we should really be expecting from Mantra to do is play more of a CC composition, which, you know, the crowd control, where they can stop Drunk Dino from charging in. They just like stun him with maybe a Brigitte or a Doomfist and then completely mow him down, where they could also be running the Sombra, which does then turn them into a counter Goats composition, which could work, as we saw last game. It worked really well on the Temple of Anubis map. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, I mean, and then we are going to see the next map coming over for Blizzard World. Hopefully no substitutions from either team, so we can just flow straight into this map, and hopefully we get a really long series going all the way to that final map, like the recent game, which we did see a 3-2 in the favor of Lions Academy against Vindication. As much as it hurts me to say, I did say it.
Yeah. No, true, but now onto Blizzard World, like you said, I do think this does favor the dive a bit, so I believe it was Rebirth that ran the better dive here. So I don't know what you expect is going to happen looking at that Rebirth is running a better dive.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to play their own Widow against Chowdhury, but every single time the Widow main shut down the other Widow, and it was quite impressive to see him on that Streets phase of Busan, just allowing his team to play on the point and him just being a solo warrior around. But now we are going to see not much too given away straight away from the comps wise on this Blizzard World map, but we are now seeing not much take place, in fact, so there again I am completely wrong. So it's taken a while to see comps to really comment on anything, but with the way Blizzard World's played it can even be played with a Goats composition where you just run onto the point and just hog the wall and they can't really do much about that, or it can be played with a dive onto this far back high ground against the bunker composition, which it seems like Rebirth are going to be pulling out, in fact, with the Ashe, which is always good to see, which is pretty good on Blizzard World.
Yeah.
I mean, Ash is a really good hero to counter dive, so maybe they have pulled out for Ash's counter dive ability effectively, but they got a real high damage bunker composition. I mean, the way they want to be playing this is when they drop to the point, they have to get the D.Va on, they have to pocket that D.Va and then maybe pick up stuff from the D.Va. But the side of Mantra, not really pulling out too much yet, as only XH has not picked. But what we've seen is Basic Mountain going on his main, which is that Wrecking Ball, so we could be seeing a modern day dive coming out with the hack from the Sombra, making one of the targets a mobile, diving on with the D.Vas and taking them out of the fight, and then sustaining it from there with what they have with the Widow, finding heads. I mean, it could go down with Chowdhury proving to be a really good Widow, so they'll just hopefully play around the pick and then go in from there, maybe level out the series, in fact, so we'll just see how it gets played, in fact.
Certainly interesting, yeah. Basic Mountain are already flying up to the top right high ground from the attacker's perspective there. Yeah, they are pushing up to the point. Sombra just going scouting a bit, going behind the defensive lines here. He is found out though, Rocker finding him, and then horsing is translocated, my apologies. Basic Mountain diving on top, of course, he is a Hammond, he will not be killed so easily. Coming back without a Paltrow this time, Z-Punisher getting a D-Mac onto Benji though. Oh, and 3 kills already coming in favor now for Rebirth with our Mocha and Baz and Drunk Dino finding kills onto both healers. Now the cleanup coming against Benji and Basic Mountain, coming rather quickly as well. That gives Rebirth already loads of ult charge to play with.
Yeah,
what a kill.
Yeah, and Baz managing to get the pick with his sonar arrow, which we really intended to just scout out with, but he did get the Widow, so leading an extra 10 seconds gone down on the clock. But the counter dive composition prevailed there, as now they've swapped over to a Tracer instead of the Sombra to maybe clip them down, as the point has been contested. This is probably what you're best doing. Have a Baseman just on there, get a huge slam up onto ZP Punisher there. He is going to go really low. Sammy just get kicked by the Chowdhury on the Widow. As the mines come out onto the point, just trying to sustain. They have got 1 tick, hoping to get this seconds. Beta Mine slamming down again, proving himself to be a really good Wrecking Ball at the minute. Does manage to get the D-Mech and Baz on that Hanzo, so there is the main source of damage gone from the side of Mantra. So that fight just going to have a Baz is rezzed up and top back up, so going to be out on a lot of damage here. However, Junk Downer has gone. I'm pretty sure this is the beginning of the end for the side of Mantra on this first point.
Yeah, Basic Mountain on that Hamony Butt must be such a nuisance to deal with. He's just spinning up and down from point to high ground all the time, using his power driver really effectively, putting in a lot of damage. Just, yeah, being a distraction, being there, disrupting the enemy, any line of the enemy really. He's on the front lane, he's on their back line, he is everywhere. That's what you have to do with Hammond. You are a disruptive character. You don't have a lot of damage. You can only do so much. You know, but he's doing exactly what he needs to, and it's working. His team is following up on it, on the disruption.
Yeah.
You know, not getting damage in the process because all the resources are directed towards him. So yeah, huge Hammond plays right here, and I believe that is what got Mantra the first point right here.
I mean, however, he does fall down from a little bit of overextension, so yeah, again, the caster's curse does come out. We was hyping up Basic Mountain there, and then he goes and pulls out a little risky move. And Drunk Downer finds a long-range kill onto Oni there, as Digital does manage to get Sammy, and he is getting equal back by Chowdhury. However, Sammy is getting res back up, so there's the extra bit of heals. And then Chowdhury just playing this really defensive position, 1v1 in the Hanzo on this far angle here. Benji's back on the point, as is D.Va. And now he's just going to be fighting that out, and the Baz does get knocked down. The mines do come out, so there's going to be a lot of damage coming Drunk Dino's way. The ult is then taken out from Drunk Dino, so there goes the bongo. Basic Mountain now trying to boop a couple of people into his ult as the Transcendent does come out. Don't know why that was really pulled. It's going to look like a lost fight, however. The caster's curse is probably going to come out. However, Chowdhury does not find ZP Punisher. The Dragon is coming in now, zoning the people off. Then ZP Punisher gets a huge, and Chowdhury equals out with Sammy. Only does then fall to Drunk Downer. This fight is insane, just getting pulled out from either team. One person gets then the next, and then the next. It's insane. What is going on? Almaka does then lose his mech, and now Basic Mountain does find Baz, so it's getting flipped back the other way. Back to Rebirth's side. I'm sorry, back to Mantra's side. Yet again, it's been going one side to the other to the next. It's been an incredible fight, this last fight.
No, it's been going back and forth for a lot. What I want to point out there in that fight was just Chowdhury. He had one great moment finding 2 pigs right after each other. Just that he didn't have enough follow-up, that Rebirth came back from this. Now both teams did regroup, both teams did stabilize. There comes Bob on the point. Just shooting people. There is a D.Va bomb now. Finding 3 this time. It's Benji and not Armaka finding Zombie and Baz and Punisher, and that's gonna be probably that's gonna be the checkpoint. Now Mokka tries to do the same with this team, but I'm fighting no one on S. So S basic mountain will kill Drunk Down, and it's the main takedown too, and that is the checkpoint taken by Mantra.
I mean, throughout these two games, our Mokka and what just saw Benji both getting 3Ks. I mean, our Mokka was there with the first one, like, ha, look at this, guys, I just pulled a 3K, when Benji just got another 3K himself, but both Divas are popping up on this Diva Bomb positioning, which is getting thrown in from all angles and finding an incredible amount of kills. But, I mean, this game, they got that because of that kill, and it was incredible to see from Benji. Noticeably being a professional projectile DPS player, but pulling himself out onto this Diva, however. We are seeing Drunk Dino on the Wrecking Ball himself now, so both teams playing this new style of dive with the Wrecking Ball Diva acting as the Wrecking Ball as the main target. And Basic Mountain's trying a huge pick onto Bazbaz, who got a little bit too cocky for his own good. In the backline, as Basic Mountain pulls out the mines, not really going to have anything in those lines out. Mokka does manage to find Benji's mech. That's a great pick, as Benji can no longer have his mech, and that's even better than a kill in these situations because he can't get the mech back. However, Chowdhury yet again just finds ZP, punishes head. Drunk Down, he just finds Chowdhury. Only there finds WWE Zombie God. That is a great name to say, WWE Zombie God. And the Transcendence has been pulled out by Sammy Extra. Both teams are going to have a lot here, and not only just pull his out because he got stuck by that Tracer Bomb. And that was a great little bait out from Bazbaz there as they then pulled away. Drunk Down gets really low, can get top back up. The D-Bomb is coming out, can't it be anything special this time? Does manage to find only that's actually big as Sammy does find the overhead himself. However, the Drunk Down it just falls from Benji's bomb as we're just seeing another back and forth fight from both teams. It's incredible. However, Zombie is managing to resurrect Drunk Down, and that should be the end of that fight as Rebirth did manage to hold that there.
Now, what I think is really interesting here is how Rebirth went to basically mirror Mantra's comp with the Hammond Diva dive. Which is, I don't see it too often. Normally it's the Winston instead of Hammond, but I really like to see it. Hammond is, I like it. I really do. And seeing him play on such a good level is just really, really nice to see. Now it is Basic Mountain going in again, going deep, but that's what Hammond can do. And it's what you need to do with Hammond. This is how he creates space, and it's Chowdhury and Digital Panda getting the first two kills onto Rebirth's healers, and now it's Digital Panda following up on those two kills, killing the Punisher. S Drunk Dino will drop to Benji, and Baz will as well, and that's the point taken by Mantra in a very casual and, I don't know, unsuspecting way really, as they just found pick after pick after pick, getting it to the third checkpoint here.
I mean, maybe Rebirth are not really sure how to go up against Mantra's Hammond, in fact. I mean, the best, they probably have not scrimmed much against this comp because it is so rare to see, especially on Blizzard World, notably being really good for, like, Winston and Diva, or in fact Ryan and Zoe, because there's many parts of this map. But, you know, the best way to counter that is to get yourself a Sombra and then hack the Hammond as he does come in, and then he loses every single ability, leaving him incredibly easy to kill, which should have been the case from the side of Rebirth, but they opted to match it, which maybe they were a little unsure on because Drunk Dino didn't see him at his best ability on that Hammond there. However, we could be wrong. I mean, we are now seeing a strange little comp coming out now from the side of Rebirth. We are seeing Bazbaz, a notably hit scan player on a projectile DPS, which is the May, and we are seeing a Reaper come out from ZP Punisher, which could be good, partnered with the Rhino and Zoe, but our Mokka, we are known our Mokka to be this amazing Diva play, but all we're going to see is skills transfer over to the Zarya Spark.
I mean, really, I don't think there is that much difference. Well, there is a lot of difference between the two characters, but especially like aiming-wise, it is mostly tracking. So I could imagine him being able to play Zarya as well. Of course, it's a complete different set of game knowledge that you need for playing Zarya. But if he just sticks to his Reinhardt's back, it should work out. Possibly. The thing is, running against that Sombra and Widow, I do believe the Punisher could be getting countered a bit too much. Once he gets hacked, he has no way of getting back out. He can counter the Orisa, yes, but he needs to get close first too. But we will see Rebirth now just going straight onto the point. Diva now coming to contested. Benji, he's still on high ground too. There is a May wall to get on the high ground. Actually really smart Onyx dropping to it. Baz What are you doing, you madman? Boosting himself up to the high ground, getting the kill. Now freezing the other healer, not getting the kill, though missing his icicle to the head. That's a shame, but it doesn't matter. Z-Punisher is now on the point to do some damage to wreak havoc, and Zombie God is there too, taking out Chowdhury. And there is the D-Mac and kill onto Benji. My god, what did I just witness here? As Rebirth is taking the first point.
Yeah, some big brain plays coming out from Bazbaz there. I mean, I was saying maybe we're not going to see him be that powerful on the Mei, but he then walled himself up and took the fight straight to the Zen, which he's obviously going to win with his freeze ability. I mean, how I thought they played that day, they were going to use the Mei wall to wall off one of the targets and then charge them into the Mei wall. Well, no, they took it on the offense and just walled Bazbaz up there to wreak havoc against the supports. It was incredible to see. As the dive has been pulled out from us, yeah, I mean, Mantra's opted to go against a dive, which I don't think is really the best idea, jumping into a Mei and a Reaper, which is so much damage at once, as Digital Panda finds out the hard way. I mean, they're playing a really high damage comp, and then Basic Mountain will just get froze every time he goes in for a peak damage. Remember, they maybe are going to be playing around Chowdy's amazing Widow capability, just picking off heads. I mean, however, he's falling pretty low for ZP. Now just dropping back to the point, nothing too much going on. And there's just Chowdy fall from WWE Zombie God on the Moira, and then, yet again, Bazbaz jumping up on the Mei wall to take the fight straight to the people. It's incredible as the res is coming out onto Chowdhury right now.
The Mei wall on the point with the Blizzard taken out, finally by Baz, getting two people in it, killing Benji and Onyx, and that seems to be Rebirth taking another fight. Who did actually no, they didn't switch to anything. They thought that Reaper just loads of point presence with the Reinhardt and Zarya, and then the Mei using her walls in such a creative way. That's really fun to see. Now they don't have the point just yet. Now this is where the spawn advantage might kick in. Nope, I was wrong. Basic Mountain getting killed rather quickly. I mean, what do you expect jumping onto a Reaper, really?
Yeah, not really the smartest idea. Not really the smartest idea, to say the least. You're obviously not going to win that 1v1, as the side of Rebirth proven to be really strong now with a lot of ultimates off their disposal. They now have 5, and then the late swaps coming out from the side of Mantra, not really knowing what to do with 5 minutes left on the clock. They're going to be nervous, they're going to be panicking a little bit now, just because they're in a final. The Mei wall has come out, it's been flopped. Reaper is on the high ground, there's the EMP. Yeah, and then the Reaper, there it is! You might as well call him Sly ZP right there. He's in the back line, doesn't matter find Benji, he is getting res back up. And we are seeing a fight, and it's getting won by the side of Mantra. I mean, what we saw there was Benji getting swapped over to the McCree, just so he can stun that Reaper coming in from the engagement. However, he did die, and then he got res back up, then he did a lot of damage. In fact, he knocked Drunk down to low HP, but he didn't die, unfortunately. Now, another fight is just going to get peeked out, both Reinhardts getting the walls knocked down. Basic Mountain does get walled off. There's that Mei wall. He is going to fall down. No, he does not. That's great. Yeah, he does fall down in the end. There's the Castle Curse. Yeah, again, however, most of the people are being shouted down from Basic Mountain. That was a Drunk down, so that was a huge shout to get 3 people down and then push them out. However, they are now running all the way into their spawn. In fact, there's nothing the side of Mantra can do. They're getting pushed all the way to the limit here.
Now we did finally see some switch from Mantra. They need to switch off that. Just inside and the body block, not C9, sorry. Getting Rebirth that third checkpoint with, I believe, almost 4 minutes on the clock, so a really dominant attack. Yeah, 3 minutes 55, basically 4 minutes. I do think Mantra on the defense, they need to switch so much early. Our Markart leaving again, unfortunately, he seems to have proper, connection problems. Yeah, but Rebirth there on that attack, really well played. How they played that Mei, again, I can only repeat myself. This is so fun to watch. How they utilize that Mei. And they still had, I mean, what normally is a problem when you run Mei is that you sacrifice a lot of damage for the possibility of disruption. But they did run that Reaper, so especially against the dive that Mantra was running, they need to come close, so your Reaper literally just needs to wait, because that's the only problem with Reaper. You have to get him close to do damage, and he does not have any proper abilities to get close. But when you're running into a dive who have to get close as well and will jump on you, they're doing your job for you. And if you've then got a really creative and well-working Mei, you're not sacrificing anything, really. So, yeah, Rebirth running it really, really well, really smart. I'm impressed.
I mean, If I was in charge of a Mantra right then, I would not have opted to run dive into a Reaper and a mate just because you're going to get frozen and then the Reaper's is Hal Shotgun is going to reign supreme on your head hitbox, which will then take you out of the fight no matter who you are. I mean,
Exactly.
if a Winston jumps in, he gets frozen. 2 shots to the head from the Reaper will take him down instantly, which is quite easy to do if the Winston is not careful with his dives. And maybe should have tried to separate the supports because the slow speed of their comp, not enough peel. Maybe that's how they should have played it, but I mean, they didn't play like that. Have they now pulled out the GOAT's composition, in fact, to run straight on the point, but maybe a little bit of confusion as Mango initially started off on the Moira, now swapped over to Lucio, and they all come from this low ground here. And then Baz on the Tracer just noticing this, calling out to his team that where they are, he's now going to probably try and get in the backline. The Widow is taking a couple free shots. Has nothing really too much done on the set for the point being capped, and then the D.Va does drop, is going to fall really low, maybe going to get stunned, does not get stunned, does manage to find herself back on the high ground. She is half HP at the minute. Trace just doing a lot of poke damage. There is the first tick from the side of Mantra as Basic Mountain just get a huge 5-strike onto our Mocker as no more stall can come from the way from the side of Rebirth because their D.Va mech has gone. They're going to have to drop down. They do drop down. ZP Punisher was the one to drop down, in fact. Now Drunk Dino is on. They are just going to fall really low as the Ghost Comp just reigns supreme in all situations there. However, Baz just get a huge pick onto Oni there. Was not really going to matter as he's going to later fall most likely. He's in the back there. He does fall eventually. And Oni just spawn a lot closer to the point than Baz does, so that is not really too worth it. He probably should have just got out with his team instead of getting staggered a little bit longer, but what we should see now is maybe the side of Rebirth swapping to Goats themselves to really counter the Goats. I mean, it's the only effective way on this map to counter Goats is playing it yourself, or maybe Dotes, in fact, just because of the small corridors you can utilize really well. Our Mocker is on the D.Va and Drunk Dino is on the right, so we are going to see a pretty good tank battle. I heard the bombs come in, does find Benji, so this is the fight starting. That's the opening they wanted. They are coming in, Oni does then fall. Charity's mech is falling reload, the bomb is going to come out to try and get the mech. Can they to get them? That's huge. It doesn't matter about our Mocker and the mech. Then comes up. That's a big shot. Drunk Dino is full down. He does miss the charge, unfortunately. Basic Mountain on to Drunk Dino. Drunk Dino is free low again. Top back up. Basic Mountain does get charged back. He's like, no, this is my charge. And then does shatter. Just get 3 people down, in fact. And then Benji, all he can really do is just shoot people on his traces. The E-bomb is coming out. Isn't really going to find anything. And the side of Rebirth looking to hold on the streets phase of Blizzard World.
I mean, really huge attack on that first point. They didn't even play it right that smart. They just had that advantage of being the goats on point, and then because Baz on that trace, it took too long to rotate behind. It was for the first 10 to 20 seconds of that fight on the point, it was a 5v6 in favor of Mantra on the attack. And then with the D.Va, our Mocker just dropping low so quick and early, it's just not a lot you can do against the sustainability and brawl potential of Ghost then. But yeah, I mean, this is still really winnable. 4 minutes left. It's that many times more than what Mantra had. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what they throw at Mantra now on their attack.
Yeah, what we're seeing is a pretty high damage composition on the defensive side with the Bastion. But the way to counter this is to hug the wall of the high ground, which they most likely will be setting up on. But, I mean, if they run dive into it, they're going to get stopped. If they run a slow comp, they're going to get stopped. So they have to run something in between, maybe the Dotes, where they can, in fact, slam down onto the Bastion and just overwhelm him with the damage to initially take him out of the fight. But only on the brick may not be enough heals if Mango is in the sky all the time. So we'll see how this is getting played out. I don't know whether they can sustain if the dive does come the way. They're going to have the damage, obviously, but are they going to have the sustainability? As the Dotes has been pulled out, like I said, it's like I'm a genius, in fact. Drunk Dino going onto this Wrecking Ball and Baz on the Winston, a little bit of swap around between the tanks. Our Mocker obviously stayed on his preferred hero, which is the D.Va. They are now going to know they're on this composition as the fight is just starting off. A lot of sprays coming from Benji on his favourite hero, that Barret. Already got 20% on his ult, whereas no other people on the side of Rebirth can really contest this. He's getting chased down in the air. Does Mango Pipisaur does fall really low. He's going to need a health back from this. As the dive is coming in, he doesn't manage to find his slamming, but he does get slammed down onto that little angle, so a little bit unfortunate. The rotation is coming out from both teams as Digital Panda is getting a lot of damage off his. You can just see his ult meter just going up incredibly quick. On the 70 now, Drunk Down is just spinning around, playing Wrecking Ball like not many play. Like Miley Cyrus, like the song says, I came in like a Wrecking Ball. I'm here in your face, you gotta kill me. As they do manage to kill him, Oni X does get a great flail onto him. As the point that's leveled out, Charity doesn't fall that. Benji just managed to find WG's Zombie God and the D-Mech, so not really much stall potential left. They are gonna fall. Bastion ult does come out really early. I don't know whether that was really the smartest idea to play, as they did have the upper hand on this. So he is trying to, sorry, he is just trying to get a couple of his. Does then fall Drunk Dino on that Hammond, and now that is all that is left is the Orisa. ZP does pull his ult, and then there's just another stall coming in from Charity, but this should, keyword, should be the last fight of this point.
I mean, hopefully for Rebirth, but people of Metro Arsenal coming back now, there it is. Yeah, unfortunately, I did actually agree with that tank usage from Bastion, because I don't think they were at that much of an advantage, and they needed to get some kills. What another bomber Mocha pulling another freaker out of his pocket, and that might give his team enough time already to just push the payload to the end. And they do still have 2 minutes left on the clock, so they don't even need to do it now. Obviously, I mean, they want to, but that triple tank dive, should not have been able to deal with that Bastion as good as they did. There is the barrage coming from Benji, finding 2.5 with the D-Mag as well. So it's gonna be Mantra pulling it back here, pushing everyone off the point. Now it's Basic Mountain back on the Hammond. I think that is the correct idea. That's the way to think about it. If you can play something that your opponent cannot deal with, why stop playing it? And obviously, the side of Rebirth cannot deal with Basic Mountain on that Hammond.
Yeah, I mean, ZP does get a manage to stun onto Chowdhury. Chowdhury is just going to not do much, so he's falling really low. The D-bomb is going to come out to get the remake eventually. Oh, he does get stunned. Can he fall down? Doesn't manage to find anything with that D-bomb. As Baz does manage to find D-bomb, and Drunk Dino does manage to find a great pick onto Oni. As Slam is coming out from both Wrecking Balls, not much really happening. No ults on the table for either team, so it's just going to be a skill, a pure mechanical skill on the console, which is going to favour the way of the team with a more tanky composition, as it doesn't take that much aim, it just takes pure tankability. As they are pushing this, they are going to take the point and make it 2-0 in the series to Rebirth. This great play to see from great individual play from Mock again, huge D.Va bombs. From Baz being incredible on the Mei. I mean, what are we seeing from the side of Rebirth if they manage to take it 2-0 in the series now?
I mean, they do prove to be the more dominant team, so they might be the favorite right now in terms of who would win this series and with that Chaos League. Armaka again finding a really, really good triple kill on his D.Va bombs. I do feel, at least ultimate usage-wise, the D.Vas on either side are the ones to carry, at least ultimate-wise. But yeah, now going on to the third map, Mantra, they have to pull something out now. It's gonna be incredibly risky for them to lose the next fight, because that is gonna already be match point. Wait, never mind. If they lose the next one, it's already over. What am I talking about? This is not best of 7. This is best of 5. So it's Mantra. They have to do something now, and they've got someone that left. So
I mean, maybe a bit of tilt. Probably not a bit of tilt though, as they are a professional team working as one singular unit. But we are gonna see Temple of Anubis get pulled out when this person does manage to rejoin. And so far we've seen it be a really close game, being really back and forth, as we obviously were casting over there. We didn't know what was going on in some circumstances, but Rebirth both times managed to just have the clutch factor to just bring it out against this, proving why they are the rank 1 seed in this whole tournament. But I think this is a bit of a sub come out now, as I do not remember Nosebleed being on the teams before.
He was not here before.
So that is a direct sub maybe for Roll. They are going to maybe try and change something up, as they are at match point now. They need to pull out all the stops to get this. Maybe they're going to run a bunker composition. But, who knows? We can always wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, no, on to Temple of Anubis, really. We might actually see a lot of different compositions now to the other maps, as Temple of Anubis is just, from the layout, a different map. It favors different teams. I mean, it's kind of the same as the Blizzard World First Point, but still you've got a lot more versatility with a lot more high ground to play with. And another pause? I don't actually know why now, but I mean, just go on. I mean, what do you expect? Looking at what both respective teams played the last 2 games, maps, what do you think they will pull out this time on Temple of Anubis?
I mean, as we saw last game, most Temple of Anubis setups are run with this Orisa on the defense, first point that is, and then when the second point gets taken, it's usually swapped over to 5 composition, as it's favored because of all the high ground positions. You can't allow any sniper comps up on that position there. But, you know, I'm not sure why the pause is. We're probably going to get an explanation relatively soon. But, I mean,
probably, you're still
like
here.
I said,
You want to quickly explain it?
Rebirth want to do a sub.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
no
fair
worries.
enough. It's easy as that. But yeah, no. Looking at what they played though, that triple tank dive from the side of Rebirth, I think we might be seeing here again, at least for the first point. If not, obviously Treehouse Threats always decent. We did see it last game with the Bastion, which was really, really effective. But we do see Basic Mind, at least from what we can make out already on that Hammond, so we might see Mantra pulling out another dive, this time with, well, not this time again with Hammond, which did work out well. Basic Mountains Hammond, yeah, a class of its own. But I would like to see what he would run into to really make any proper predictions here, but yeah, I mean, if you've got anything more specific, please go on, Spacey.
Well, I mean, from what we're seeing now, Basic Mountains playing his favourite hero, which is this Wrecking Ball. Noticeably, he is one of the best Wrecking Balls on the console, in fact. So, I mean, Baz is probably going to be subbed out from his team, but I'm not sure why that's the case, because, I mean, Baz was playing really well. Maybe they are just sandbagging. I mean, you know, it's noticeably known that Overwatch teams do sandbag just so they can take it to a more favoured map, which they know they can 100% guarantee they'll win on. It's often used a little more higher up the scale here, though. But, you know, when they're that confident, anything can go their way.
I mean, as this is not team-picked maps, though, I don't think that sandbagging is really of any value. So, I don't know if that would be the case.
Maybe, though, who knows?
I mean, yeah, it's true. Who knows? I'm looking forward to who they sub in, by the way, because Baz, he did have that very interesting May pick, and how he played. It was just really nice. So I'm looking forward to see who they want to replace him with. His name is, wait, was he not in the last game?
I'm not sure, but maybe both teams agreed to this sub, as it's that the game has been pulled off anyway. So, I mean, Chowdhury pulling out the Torb at the minute. Not sure whether that's really the best pick. Yeah, I mean, why not? Torb can always work in specific places. I mean, I'm not going to be the one to sit here and tell him not to play Torb. I mean, he has an aimbot turret and he has the damage himself, so it could be really effective. But we are seeing ZP pulling out a Symmetra of their own. Maybe they're going to do the Great Bamboozle comp. Oh no, sorry, they are on the defense. They're actually just going to be boosting their Orisa up onto this high ground and then going back to their spawn to swap off to a DPS, which will be more suitable, which is probably going to be a Hanzo, as Double Sniper is a pretty good comp to run on this map. So they are taking quite some time to do this, actually. ZP Punisher, they've maybe not scrimmed this strat much because they are not really sure what is going on. It's taken quite some time. Not sure whether they'll be able to get back unless Sammy speeds him back, which is actually going to take place. Yet again, I am wrong because of the Caster's Curse. And we are seeing one side running a double shield comp on the attack, which isn't... Oh, never mind. Yet again, they've swapped over to a full dive with this Widow, trying to just burst down this. The Junkrat's been pulled by ZP anyway, so probably good against the dive, but hopefully the Widow, not an MKB below my SR, is hopefully not an MKB user, as that is considered cheating on console, and will... I mean,
it is, but...
Yeah, result in a forfeit from their team until he gets subbed out, or in fact, the dive is going to come onto him. He's going to hopefully fall down there. If he does manage to get away somehow, as Benji gets a huge pick onto ZP, as ZP just had nothing to do with it. They does manage to find WWE Zombie God as well. Benji proves to be a really good fire, then taking out Armoffa's mech, and Armoffa's going to fall shortly after that, as Benji just gets taken down by MKB user on this Widowmaker. And now Nosebleed_time has just pulled out the overkill and Drunk Diner, so that is the first point taken in a minute. Already looking stronger from the side of Mantra.
I mean, it's a shame to see, because there was a really good shot onto Benji on that tower, but it was just too late. That pick did not matter anymore. The rest of his team was dead. Mantra already had control of the point, so there was, yeah, unfortunately not really enough coming from not MKB, well, and anyone else. And when you're the Junkrat, You just can't do a lot against Pharmercy as well, so Pharmercy in general just getting a lot of value, even against a Widow, especially on this map. You've got so much cover to hide behind. So if you play your Pharaoh smart, which Benji does, as we can see, you can still run it even against a Widow. Now, he does lose his Mercy Mango against not MKB, which will stop their advance as well. Then mentioned already on the retreat, as they are getting pushed, Rebirth looking for some late staggers here, oh, never mind, finally, and Chowdhury losing the Widow 1v1, getting rest back up, luckily so. It's not gonna stall them for too long.
Yeah, I mean, MKB proven to be pretty good on the Widow against Chowdhury, who was also noticeably good on the Widow, but maybe we're going to see a couple comp swaps after. On top of all that, Chowdhury does get a huge headshot onto Sammy Extra right there. As the Hammond Slam does come down, trying to zone off a couple supports, isn't going to get anything. He's going to fall pretty low himself. And then not MKB, just must find Benji yet again. Benji's getting pretty hard countered by this Widow now, as he didn't use his ult there, so managing to save on to not use his ult, as the point is going to go the way of Rebirth here, as the Oni does most of it. How the Diva Bomb is going to come out, can it be huge? It does most find Sammy on this Lucio, so it could actually be quite big to say the least. As another Diva Bomb's come out, can that be huge itself? Oh, just fight Mango, that is an incredible pick on the side of Rebirth, just so they can stall this fight out for as long as possible, and the side of Mantra just falling bodies onto the point at the minute, not knowing what they can do. I mean, basics has fallen, everything's getting popped at once. I don't know what is happening. Good God, it's incredible to see. Benji doesn't fall to Sammy, so the Lucio taking him out. However, ZP does go. This fight, yet again, back and forth, proving that to be a really close game, to say the least, has been shown through all the series now.
But it is Rebirth taking it eventually, but so many ultimates have been used in that fight from either side, really. Everything. Now, what was really, really well played there from the side of Mantra, even though I don't think it was the right thing to do, they used the Diva Bomb to zone and got a kill with it, which let his Mercy revive the Pharaoh, which went on to Barrage and get 2 kills then. Unfortunately, as the rest of the team was basically dead, I don't think it was the right moment to use it. They could have saved it and just contested and baited some more ultimates like that, but they didn't. But now they're switching to a Reinzaria composition with a McCree as well. Benji switching off the Pharaoh, probably the right thing to do. He did get counted a little bit, and if not he, then his Mercy. Drunk Dino already dropping to basic mountain on that main tank now. Reinhardt, there is the beat drop now on the side of Rebirth just to contest more and rush maybe a bit, but Lucio Sammy is the only one to really push with it, which he is not being he's not being punished for it. Interestingly enough, there is now minefield, as Drunk Dino is coming back, and he has had more than enough. Oh my God, so many people being pushed into the minefield, getting a kill onto basic mountain. As he punished, will just clean up, getting Benji. There's just not enough CC to deal with that Doomfist. He will die to nosebleed, fair enough, but I do think that the comp that Mantra had switched to here is not favoring them too much against that Doomfist switch from the side of Rebirth here.
I mean, this comp on the defense is really strong, as we've now seen it from both games today, with the Doomfist and the Wrecking Ball and the Diva, with the power-ups from the Mercy, and it's just going to initially take out one target individually. However, Benji charged his ult really quick on that McCree there, proving to be a really good DPS player, to say the least. He's now going to look for this. If they can get this specific angle off, it is coming out. Amoko is going to probably eat this up, mostly, however. It's not the case so far, as the Dive doesn't. This should get punished. There's the double kill. Not MKB, and Sammy has gone down to Benji. He does manage to find it free. This is huge play from Benji and ZP. Sorry, not MKB. Just get rest back up. The Diva Bomb is coming out. The slam maybe booping him up. Oh, it doesn't manage to get anything. That was a great bubble from Nosebleed time there. He got the grab saved up. This is the point maybe getting taken, but the Mercy is sawn out for an incredibly long time. The Doomfist does come down, finds Benji. There's the main source of damage gone from the side of Mantra there. The grab is getting pulled. There is the cool kills. The slam coming down on the Hammond. Drunk Down does manage to find Mango as he's in the middle of the res. So the res just get pulled off, so maybe a lot of damage coming out. But Benji, there is the flipping Transcendence coming out from the Zen. Oh my God, this is good God. There's Charlie going down. I don't know what is happening. What is going on? This game is incredible. It's back and forth, back and forth. Drunk Dino just killing Oni there. It's going by the favor of Rebirth. I don't know what is happening. It's so hard to commentate. Oh my God, that was one incredible fight. It's incredible. Like, that's all I can say. It was going the fate. They got 4 kills and they managed to get 2, and then they got brought it back. I don't know. Oh my, I can't commentate. It's just incredible.
I mean, really what happened there, I believe, is the zombie was just not dealt with efficiently enough. He was flying around with Valkyrie, contesting for so long, keeping his team up. Then he went for such a risky res, and somehow he did not get punished for it. He did it in the middle of the enemy team, but no one dealt with him. And then what I found really interesting, the minefield, half the mines were just hovering in the air for whatever reason, but I mean that's off topic really. As Mantra is pushing back onto the point now, they don't have any ultimates to to play with though. They almost have a grab, they almost have a shatter, but they don't have any. And the Punisher will take advantage of having to of running into a ult team, finding Chowdery now on the Lucio, which is enough. And Mantra is running. He's running the traditional goals now. Now they are getting their ultimates. There comes the Graviton finding 2 in it after 2 more kills by Onyx and Benji. And this is, I mentioned, maybe finally being able to take it. There is a minefield zone off a bit, but the only one left to contest it is Drunk Dad, and now Dutus is coming back, so the contest will not stop. As the punish will drop, Mantra finally did get a tick, but there is now the rest of the team, 4 people are left with it made to contest it, so this is long from over.
I mean, it should have been dealt with a long time ago. WWE Zombie God taking a huge stall. Sammy just come back in with the beat, so there's another big fight taking place. Mocket is falling really low, but the beat manages to get him back up. There's the Doofus going down, just managed to find Chowdy, so maybe this could be flipped back again. How the Diva Bomb is coming out, just managed to find 2. In fact, this could be huge. Benji's proving to be a really good player so far. Mocker's mech is getting really low, just get out of there. There's Mocker dead, in fact. So now, maybe in the nick of time, can't get out of a shot, just come out, this is huge. They are now managing to say this. Mantra proving to be a really clutch team and just taking this all the way as the May should slowly fall. Hopefully not going to see a C9, we shouldn't see a C9. Someone's just running around, it is Sammy on the Lucio, proving to be a pain in their backside to say the least. Omaka does get booted away, they are initially going onto Omaka and they do finally, after about 2 minutes of brawling on one comp, do take it indeed. That was one hell of a fight right there.
Oh, it was, and it took a long time. Now, we did see what May's primary use right there, just stalling up for so long, enabling Rebirth's team to come back with at least semi-extra, and the Doomfist, if I remember correctly. Now, what we did see, it was in overtime, so, yeah, Mantra just barely got the second checkpoint there. And they will, I mean, obviously they'll be looking to full hold the first point now. But if Rebirth gets the second point, and I do think their attack is stronger than the defense from what we've seen so far, it's going to be really, really hard for Mantra to pull this back, really. Yeah, I'm expecting big things from Rebirth here. Their attack's normally quite good. So, yeah, I don't know, any different opinions on that, or...
I mean, no, not really. I mean, what you said there was picture perfect. Now the side of Mantra opting to do the same treehouse composition with Benji opting to be on this symmetric, just to boot basic mountain and anybody else that needs to get up there, which will be Oni as well. Up onto this high ground, maybe Benji is going to swap off to like a Mercy or something. I do not expect that of Benji though, as he is profoundly a DPS player, but the side of Mantra playing a really, really weak heals comp unless Mango swaps over now to a Mercy himself is not. So they are playing this really weak heals comp, which should just get bullied upon if the damage is not sufficient to keep them all alive. I mean, they're now just going for pure damage in this situation, the stun and then the initial kills. So we are seeing the Wrecking Ball being played quite a lot on this map from both teams on the defense as well. So I mean, both teams around, yeah.
With that little healing from the defensive side, that means that the pile driver is going to be all the more devastating. It's normally not a lot of damage to have to deal with, but when you only have a Lucio and a Brick to heal, it's that 100 damage are actually going to be a lot. And already it proves to be not the right decision to not have a main healer here, as 2 kills have already gone in favor of Rebirth, but Mantra are proving they are not done with this point, getting 3 in an attempt to retaliate, and they do. Drunk Dino on the retreat again, he has to group up with his team again. Somehow, Mantra pulled this back, getting 3 kills while rotating down to the point.
Yeah.
Junkrat getting a lot of damage already. Benji almost has his Riptire, but not MKB. Will get the first pick on the chart area.
I mean, the one bad thing there, basic mountain, they drop down leading to a perfect dive on top of him on this low ground. And I'm mocking to find Benji in the sidelines. And now he is trapped up, but he's going to come back. Maybe a res can be come off now, and this does not seem the case. However, Nosebleed does get taken down as Benji is back pulled. I lied. He does get rezzed up. Mango does then fall to Armoka, so this could be turned away to Rebirth if they're careful about this. And then the mines are coming out, zoning off them to the right side of the point. The tire is coming out for one last solid attempt onto the point. Doesn't get anything. Jump down is coming huge with his mines. Just managed to find Benji on the tire, and that was really one there because Basic Mountain dropped down onto the low ground. That was why it was one there.
I mean, really, really well played from Rebirth there. How they took out Benji in their first dive. That was the most important thing to do because he was the only one with a proper ultimate ready on this sort of mantra. When they killed him, it was basically already one fight. And then how the Zenyatta and Widow were just uncontested standing below the bridge and in main on the bridge. There's just nothing you can do. They're just going to spam you with damage. Even if they don't hit every shot, they've got every time in the world to make it work. And they did. Now, also, second point, Basic Mountain will find a kill onto not MKB, but does it matter? Yes, it does. It will be Rebirth waiting for their, for the Pharaoh and Z-Punish on that brig, who got killed too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we have seen now from the team comp swaps, the side of Mantra being really smart, knowing that the other team do not have a shield, they can now get this pulled pork combo going really well, and then stunning them with Benji and Oni on both stun heroes, which is great against Dive as well. So, I mean, basically they're good for a lot of comps that come at them now.
Yeah, in my opinion, that Rissa Hog combo is really good against Dive, because you can't. It's hard because it's really a death-ballish threat against. It's hard to find a proper dive tag, and we can already see a Drunk Diner getting hooked and killed there as the bongos are being popped, getting killed by the Punisher, but it already had enough value. There comes the D.Va Bomb, finding nothing, unfortunately. So it's Mantra keeping the point in a very solid defense. That hook, that's exactly what I mean. When you dive in, or prior to, well, when you set up to the dive, you're just gonna get halted or hooked, and when you are hooked, you are dead. No matter who you are.
A little bit of disrespect coming out from Nosebleed there, teabagging Armoka. That is probably going to get returned to him sometime in the stage if the game goes to another map. But the side of Rebirth now swapping to the May Reaper comp they ran on Blizzard World, hopefully zoning them off and then charging them into that wall as the wall does come in. He has just booped Nosebleed up, but he's going to take... Oh, he does shut down. That could be proven really fatal for the guy. As he's now pulled out... Oh, he just gets frozen in the axe, so he does not get anything off of... He does not got any use off of his ult. However, Benji just coming out with the high noon. Can he get anything? Just managed to find Armoka on the Zol. He jumped down. Does then fall to Nosebleed. Nosebleed proving to be a pretty good hog at this stage in time. Hopefully, this is going to continue this way as they do want to hold this point for as long as possible to take up the next map.
I mean, it's very interesting to see that Rebirth is trying that attack May again, but this time it's the Punisher, not Bans again. So I don't know, we might see a big difference in terms of playstyle here, and on attack, especially against a Hog Orisa combo. I don't know if May can be as disruptive as you'd want her to be. But anyway, we shall find out as Rebirth is pushing now, but through the low ground. They have to run up against basically 3 ultimates, so they're gonna have a hard time here. But yeah, going to this next fight, Drunk that over getting hooked. There is the bongos again and the May wall, but I don't think it will help anyone really. There is the Reaper now getting hooked and killed, so it's just Mantra taking the fight. They didn't even take the fight to Rebirth. They just waited for Rebirth to push a bit and then met them with their ultimate.
I mean, like said before, I'm not really sure why the May Reaper will be that effective on this map, as the Hog Orisa will just sit behind the effective choke point, so they can't really pull them off, which they could do against the Ryan Zoe comp, or in fact a dive, where they're just sitting there, people in their healers in the corners, just they can free roam, in fact, just walking around doing as they please. I mean, Bango not going to get pressured by anyone, and Benji, yet again, a god on this Pharaoh at the minute. This man is most doubtably the MVP for this specific map on the Pharaoh for the attack rounds and the defense round, which he's pulling out right now. He's charging his ult with insane speeds. Nosebleed looking for another pull, doesn't manage to get anything. However, Mango does get not MKB on with his Pokeball, as I like to call it. Just he's throwing them in constantly, getting a lot of tick damage off there. It's really good to just suck them away with that punt. As the side of Mantra playing a little bit too high up with Nosebleed here, he could get walled off by this mate and then get picked off really early. But, you know, he's just now noticing this, sitting back behind the shield, nothing happening. This side of Rebirth wasting a lot, not wasting, just using a lot of time here as their team are split. They're taking this fight around to next, forcing the rotation now, yet again, from the side of Mantra on this defense. The Brigitte ult has been pulled early, nothing really to happen. They are just waiting for one person to go in, so they can just wall him off. However, knows he does fall reload, heals himself back up. There is the Mei. So this could prove to be really vital in this next fight. One is throws in the back, Nosebleed does fall. MKB is Mastermind Benji on the far. There is the main source of damage gone. Oni, but this sustain is gone himself. Nosebleed does then fall straight after, but we could start seeing a huge stall like we saw from the side of Rebirth all the way through that last round, as Charity does manage to find a huge pick onto the round. That could become crucial in the stall of the next couple of fights. Benji does come out with a huge double kill that completely shut them down, not even giving them a tick. In fact, they're like, no, we're losing by a lot, but we're going to pull out, we're going to go deep, we're going to get this, we're going to kill again for the next point.
So I think what went a bit underappreciated is all those freezes from the Mei enabled Rebirth Zarya to get her ultimate really, really quickly, because she had 2 tanks to feed off. They were frozen and could not defend themselves. And with that, Rocker, he didn't use it. Weirdly enough, he could have won with it, but not only does the Mei give her team loads of ult charge, she also makes focus fire that much easier. Now there is a Mei now on the side of Mantra as well, copying or mirroring really, but there comes the grab now, fighting loads of people in, but there's the whole hog pushing everyone away. It prevents Rebirth of any kind of value coming from that grab. And now it's down to the last 5 seconds, and I believe that's Mantra taking it actually.
I mean, not really much that can go on now. It's just the beginning of the end for the side of Rebirth. They are going to lose a map to Mantra, which is going to take it to 2-1 in the series. Moving us on to our next map, which will be Rialto. And I mean, really, there, Benji just completely popped off on all the heroes he was playing. I mean, we saw him at one stage playing McCree, in fact, which is not his notably famous hero selection. It is usually that projectiles. We saw him pop off on the Pharah and on the Mei. And I mean, he's just a great player overall. As we've seen him play the game, a great zoning from Chowdhury, which then gave him a great pick to stall off, and then he's just shooting at nothing. And you really do that. It's incredible. That is just an insane team play there. Yeah.
Hitting every shot. No, that's really, really well played there. We do finally see Mantra being a lot more alive, this time winning, like you said, the 3rd map, now going to the 4th. We might actually see this go into the 5th now, as Mantra, yeah, they were the dominant team, most definitely this time. It was not a stomp by any means, but they were dominant.
Yeah, I mean, our Mantra on the rise back up from the graves of Hal, in fact, clawing their way by 1 game at a time. That's all they got to do. They got to get in their head. They got to get their motivational mindset. It's just 1 game at a time to take it to that final map, which they can still effectively win it, as the next map will be Rialto. And coming into Rialto, we know both teams, they're not really favored. Both teams are really happy and playing Goat's composition, which is really powerful on this Rialto map, as it's just really short corridors set for first point, which can be run with a little more spice to it, in fact. So we could be seeing a pretty Goats map, but you know, as I said, both teams not looking that potent on Goats. I mean, both of them aren't really playing it too often. It's more of a dive style, which you don't really see in EU. I mean, it's rare.
That's true. I mean, on Rialto though, especially first point, we might see that too, and we do see both teams being quite happy with playing Orisa, and especially at first checkpoint defense. We are probably going to see loads of Orisa treehouse trades. We did see it before. We see it loads of times on Rialto. It's just a go-to thing. You sit on the high ground with your Orisa, possibly a Hanzo, possibly a Widow, which both teams like to play too. So I believe we're going to see something more on the treehouse-ish way of playing this map, at least on defense. On the attack, yes, I agree. The easy go-to thing would be Goats. But I would like to see some dive, especially Hammond dive, which either team likes to play here.
Yeah, I mean, now that we've said this, we're obviously not going to see dive take place, as the Caster's Curse will force both teams to play more of a slow comp. You know, we got to remember what we can see.
Never mind.
We got to remember what we can see on the most famous map in the game for it. It's my favorite team comp in the entire game. It's the Slambulance. I've said this many times.
May I say something? May I say something? Looking back at the game before this, yes? The fight for the 3rd place. Right,
Yeah,
Stacy.
we don't need to go into detail on what happened there. You know, Slamulance is going to get pulled out by the side of Rebirth, trying to trap them in their spawn,
Oh,
hopefully
interesting.
using their Diva to take the Farret off the high ground, which didn't happen in the third fourth playoff game, which I may just throw out. The Diva has to be up on that high ground and taking them their the high damage which they'll shove on that high ground to take out the rest of the comp. But you know what they got to do? They got to run here, take baby steps, which we see our Mocker doing now. He's taking the littlest steps you physically can, where the rest of his team can crouch their way over. He has to take these little baby steps, which is commonly known. It's quite comical to witness seeing themselves, but it can either be played directly in front of the spawn, which is right there, or we can see it directly played on the left side, which they are noticeably taking the option for, but they're using their emotes to peek around the corner knowing when they come out. But the Bastion sim could work if it's played to a high ground, and if we'll just wait and say, oh, never mind, it's goats versus it's a different style of goats. It's a hog goats, in fact. So one team's gonna come out now with the attack. Goats should win against Slamulance every time if it's played correctly, but Drunk Dino Basic Mountain going really deep, getting punished for it. Sammy does then die to Nosebleed as the Slamulance is reigning supreme. Like I said, the greatest comp on the game, trapping them in their spawn.
Of course. Yeah, no, I mean, well executed, definitely. But again, this is the same thing I say every time I see this. I mean, this time, surprisingly enough, they did win the fight against the Goats composition. I thought when that pirate ship threat with the Bastion we've been played, then the Stambians would definitely have the upper hand, at least for the first fight. But now the element of surprise is gone, even though they are jumping in now from a different position with the Coalescence being popular. So that means a lot of healing, but all of the team of Rebirth are dropping lower. There comes a huge shatter, finding Fields, very Drunk Dino popping up with his 5-star as well, finding the fourth one as well, and the fifth one, and that's another team kill. That's the second team kill in a row.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's like I predicted it. I mean, I'm obviously the greatest caster of all time, predicting what's going to happen, and then it happened.
No, go on.
And then it gets played out to the T from the side of Rebirth Gaming, and now they are going to get that pull off from Z Punisher. However, the pull is from the other side. WWE Zombie God does fall as the bomb is coming in, doesn't manage to find anything. Drunk Down, he does get a pick on the pin. The two Basic Mountain, and Sammy is then taken down with a huge boot onto Benji into the drink, and he's going to die as a lot of ults are being pulled on either team. No, a hog does come out. What is this? Z Punisher does manage to track Chowdhury in the corner. I can't really. It's just getting stalled out. Another win for the Slamulance. It's an amazing comp. What can I say?
That's actually really interesting. I was confident that after losing their Moira, Rebirth was gonna lose that fight. They would have no sustainability anymore. They would have no potential to push because their Reinhardt Drunk Dino, he was left on 150 HP, but they pulled it back. Now, we do have to commend Rebirth. They're doing it right. They are not trying to push from the same way over and over again. They take the element of surprise to different locations, and that's what's working. They give Mantra a little bit of room to push and then come from a different direction. It's really, that's how you need to play it. That's how you keep the element of surprise alive. And that was a grab now, getting 5 in it. The beat is there to counter, and it does seem to work. Nosebleed will drop down on that Doomfist, who switched to now, just waiting there in the corner. There is Drunk Dino dropping to Benny there, so maybe it's Mantra finally taking it back without the Reinhardt. There's going to be no push potential for the side of Rebirth. They're just being pushed back. Onyx does die to not MKB, sorry. But Mantra finally getting 2 kills, and the D-Max of the Slamulance is slowly but surely getting killed. Amoka now here left to contest, will be killed in an instant by Basic Mountain. Yeah, after all, Mantra will take it.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts my heart to say, but Slamulance finally did fall due to the pure power of the Doomfist coming in and just taking them all out. But you know, they did their job. They sold it for 3 minutes 20 seconds. They're coming back in with ZP. He's now swapped over to the Wrecking Ball to touch the point. He does manage to touch the point. Now he's just probably going to go swinging out. The D-Bomb is going to find anything. Doesn't. Oh, never mind. He just wants to find Mango on that Brigitte. So there's a lot of sustainability gone from the side with the team with the littlest heals at the minute. So we are just seeing both teams stall around this point. Nosebleed going huge on this Doomfist, proving himself to be really good on that specific hero. They are going to take this and probably take the point off of this, most likely, unless something incredible happens, which does not happen. I mean, we don't really see a baby diva 1v6 an entire team do. So
hey man, I would be open to that. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be something to, you know, it go down in the history of Overwatch. Not, I mean, let alone anything. I mean, they are just pushing out now. Drunk Dino, it's really low. it's just gonna save their ults, and I'm just gonna stop. They're still opting for this Slamulence, which I mean, I'm not gonna judge because you know I do have a slight feeling for this composition as one of the best comps in the game. You may have figured this out already, so I mean. I like to see it getting played, but it's going to come up against a Doomfist, which is a great combo. I mean, he does fall down instantly. As I say, it's 2 shots from now. One does find, one gets stopped by the other. There is the beat, not really that necessary. They have lost that fight. They shouldn't have really beat that. 2 of them down. There goes Sammy booping Shari into the drink. Benji does that for Z Punisher popping off on this Roadhog. You need to bring it. Roadhog is there to stay.
Now, but we did see loads of ultimates being used on the side of Rebirth. We did see the Grav, we saw the Coalescence, we saw the Shatter. So it's possible that they have too little to play with now for this next fight. Running, going against 3 ultimates, going against the Grav, going against the Meteor Strike, most importantly. And I mean, Nosebleed is really the heart and soul of the counter for that Slamulence there, and he does his job well. He starts dying for the last fight. He's doing it well, but now Drunk Dino finding 2 already on the Mango, onto Mango and Onyx. That's a huge pick. Armaka following up on a funny Nosebleed. That's the main counter for this ambulance gone, and that means that the ambulance can now go fully aggressive. Drunk Dino finding another one. Basic Mountain dropping to his charge. What is going on with Drunk Dino here? His Reinhardt is on point.
I mean, Reba have proven to be amazing running this Slamulence all the way to just stop them, but they looked like they weren't going to win that just because once the side of Mantra had 4 ults compared to their 2. Yeah. They should have lost that there, but they now managed to charge them back up again. Almoka sustainably getting a lot of ult charge on this D.Va, and Drunk Dino obviously is on the Reinhardt against a lot of tanks, so that's a big grab into that little room there. D.Va Bomb is going to come out, not really going to find too much. Oh, the Shatter does unfortunately miss at last second. ZP does manage to find Nosebleed, so there's the main Slamulence counter gone. The fight is just going to get sustained. WWE's Omega does fall, so this maybe could get turned to the side of Mantra, and Basic Man is getting chased all the way to Mantra's spawn, not Mantra, sorry, Rebirth spawn. He does jump off the map. He's like, nah, I've had enough of this. I'm not getting staggered for that long. And there's only 10 seconds left. The elusive, ominous, overtime music is ticking down. Benji's now swapped over to the Baron. Maybe should have done this earlier. Basic Mountain going to the Wrecking Ball. Trying to just get back, but is it too little too late? Nosebleed does fall. There does Chowdhury. Not MKB Shrooms have a very good tracking. Finding both these targets. No, they cannot touch the point. The Slamulence prevails. Come on, that's what we like to see.
I mean, really, really well played. As much as, you say it and it never works this time, it did. And it did well. It worked super, super well. Rebirth playing it really, really good. Even though, that's the thing in Overwatch. Even if you've got a team full of tanks, you will not be lacking that much damage. And you will have, at least for the first few seconds of the fight, that big of a health pool, and you don't really have to worry about anyone dying but your supports. And obviously then when you run it up against the goats, the sustainability of the goats should come in. But if you get 1 or 2 kills in that first few moments where you don't have to worry about getting killed because you literally are too bulky to die, you've basically already won the fight. And Rebirth did, over and over and over again. Even though they were running into that goats.
Yeah, I mean, what I can comment on from what I said before, maybe Rebirth sandbagged that last map so they could get this map Rialto, which may be their comfort pick. I mean, they don't get to choose that map, so maybe the map pool just pulled out for their favor. They obviously are very practiced on playing that Slamulence on that map, as the side of Mantra taken to a super high damage comp to really stop what's going to be thrown at them, which does look like the Dotes coming out from the side of Rebirth. Proven to be really good on this high tanking, high sustainability composition, which was the Slamulence of the first round, and which looks like it's going to be the Dotes now. So to play this correctly, it's best not to play it at all. In fact, they're going to get mowed down by the Bastion and the Baron. Exactly. They should hopefully swap it off. But, I've said this now, so anything can happen. Castle's Curse is very prominent, and it's probably going to take place.
I mean, we have seen this triple tank dive work against the Bastion. Now, obviously, it's going to be hard, especially because it's not going to be hard. They don't have to push the pedal. They just need to get a proper dive. Unfortunately, Winston will miss his jump. Hammond Dust still going with his pile driver. There is a D-Mag onto Armaka there already, so that leaves his team and 1 less tank to dive. The Bastion is just sitting there, having to stand the pile driver, coming in again, but Drunk Dino will drop. Unfortunately, that dive was not really the creme de la creme. with Winston missing his jump, but I'm not going to say an extra. They will maybe pull it back, but nosebleed time. Finds not MKB. Yeah, and that's Rebirth taking the first fight. Fairly solid here with the Bastion just not being able to be focused down.
I mean, that was great play, just taking the Bastion out of it there. Proving they are really good on this triple tank dive. As I said, I would probably get quoted on that. They did roll him into the Bastion, proving the slam of the hammer to be too much for the Bastion to deal with. As WD Zombie got to take a big pick onto Mango and then nosebleed ball from ZP punish the Bastion. Maka does one basic mountain. This is just a complete stomp from the side of Rebirth here, proving they're an incredible team on this map.
Yeah, no, finally Rebirth with that dive. They did have the spawn advantage and they have the mobility, so they could just come back from their spawn quicker than Mantra could. And with that, they take the first point with them. It's all blue in the kill feed this time. Yeah, not MKB getting this time finally a lot of value on Winston. They do have basically 5 ultimates at their disposal. Poor Mantra, they have to make this work now. They don't have that much room to play with. Rebirth, they don't have to push it far to win. And if they win this, they are the winners of the Amateur League. Chaos League, what am I talking?
Play on the stake. Yeah, the pressure will be mounting up for either team now, so we could see the clutch back to come out, or we could see them sink at the D1. Let's get pulled over. Doesn't matter. I think that's a little bit strange for our Mokka. Usually he's found a lot of value with his ultimate. I mean, and now we're seeing just one team just proving to have a lot of sustainability as ZP does find nosebleed on that Doomfist. His play does prove to be a really strong, slapping that man in the face, taking him out of the fight. Well, not man, Cyborg I should say, as he does have a big fat arm that is a robot, but the fight is just still now ZP punish on by charging, not MKB does find Mango, so that is a great pick on the Mercy there. No real heals left as Benji does fall after. That is the bread and butter gone of the pharmacy as the point is getting pushed, not looking like they can really do anything left, getting trapped in their spawn. In fact, this should be the end, taking the match and the series and the league. There it is, your 2018 champions of the Chaos League or Rebirth.
Rebirth, they're really, really well played. They're punishing the Mercy for resting in the middle of the enemy team. Obviously, that's not going to work. You're gonna get killed for it. And yeah, Rebirth did. Not only do they have a solid defense here on Rialto, which, yeah, like you said, they obviously trained for that. There is no way they just pulled that out of their pockets like that. Not only do they have that, they have such a good attack. They dealt with their counters so well. Nosebleed time on that Doomfist. Unfortunately, not get that much value, even though he should be the counter to everything that Rebirth ran. Rebirth just being so dominant here. They took it. Obviously, there was a reason for them being in the finals, and now they took it, being the champions of the Chaos League, like we said.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say? That was just an incredible game to watch and cast. Though, I mean, for the viewer, it must have been even better because they got a huge overall view. But I mean, what are we gonna say leaving out from this game and the league, Spark?
Oh yeah, I have a few things to say really. For one, I want to thank everyone involved with the Chaos League because it did get me started in casting. This is my roots basically. Now, I do want to, furthermore and even more, thank all team captains that were involved in actually organizing the rest of the league, as the main league, the owners and all that fell apart. It was a huge mess. I don't know if you've, been involved in it or heard of it. The owner left and then no one took proper control of it. So that was a huge mess. But then the team captains with Devil Monkey Boy did, organize all the later weeks and the playoffs, so I'm really happy for that. I'm really happy to be able to cast the finals because this is where I started. These are my roots.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, we were the first casters ever to cast the first ever game of the Chaos League. I mean,
I actually solo casted that, and no one can take that from me.
Right back when we were both newbies, we casted from the start. We just want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in through the Chaos League, and maybe it will come back. Not looking positive though. I mean, just thank you, and this is taking us out of the stream and the Chaos League for good. I've been Spacey, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Sparkfire. Thank you very much, and good night.